9-0 versus Aberdeen.
Aye. Remember that one?
I think the history book shows, I think the record's 11-0, but you're going back to 1895, I think. Some of this I'll get wrong, but 9, other than the Aberdeen 9 and today's 9, which of course the opposition didn't score, I think we've maybe had another 2 9s and the opposition scored a single goal. So if I'm right, that's only the 3rd time we've won by that margin in our history. The Aberdeen one, I remember that game quite well. Obviously the 11-0 was well before you and I were on the planet. So twice we've won by that margin. But that was a 9-0 going on 15, 16. It was incredible. And I think it was 7-0 after 60 minutes. And you're thinking, there is absolutely no chance we're not scoring 10. And of course he makes the 5 subs. And that kind of slowed the tempo of the game down. But what a day, what a game.
Some of the football was just irresistible, wasn't it? In that first half, I want to talk about Kyogo first. I think some people have maybe underestimated him a wee bit with the whole Yakimakis debate recently. But you see today, what a special player.
He is. And they bring something completely different. I know we've talked about an awful lot, but just to reiterate some of the stuff we said, Yakimakis brings strength, physicality, desire, directness, but not the movement. And he does move, but not the movement Kyogo brings. And we said this when Kyogo first joined. Kyogo sets the tone in the rest of the team. Because when somebody round about you is working that hard and they're running that much, you think, I better make a bit more of an effort, because by comparison, I'm miles behind. So then naturally, you just start making a bit more of an effort, don't you? And you can see that that's happening all across the team now, the energy levels. I mean, there was so many times today where you thought, I cannot believe the amount, the desire. It was like they needed to score 9 goals or they needed to achieve something above and beyond winning the game. I remember just before half-time, forgetting exactly what the score was now, but whatever the score was anyway, there was a corner. There's 4 or 5 players running towards the corner. And it was an injury time, that 7 minutes injury time. We just scored and they wanted another one. It was unbelievable, the desire to go forward today. And the United players just they couldn't settle on a tactic. You know, were we going to put in the tough tackles? Every time we went forward, it looked like scoring.
They knew, seeing that second half, they knew exactly what was coming, but they couldn't do anything to stop it. And seeing the first half, actually, talk about setting high standards, the relentlessness of this Celtic team. I think it was only 1-0 at the time, but we'd turned it over a couple of times. Carter Vickers, Juranovic, McGregor, and we'd won. I think maybe O'Reilly gave it away to make a slide tackle and Middleton to win it back. And Ange went absolutely mental. But it's that standard that it doesn't matter what the score is. Like, we can't be sloppy at any time. And then we went on the rest of that first half to play irresistible attacking football. It was so free-flowing. The Kyogo goals, the first 2 were excellent. I thought Abada's role in the first one to slide it through to Jota. First time ball with Jota, touch and finish Kyogo. The second one's just unbelievable. And as you say, pushing at half-time, looking for a 5th in added time in that first half. And right across the front of the pitch, O'Reilly, Abada, Jota, Kyogo, they were all excellent today.
They were. And I mean, that has to be our favourite front three now. We all love Maeda, but Abada, I mean, how good was Abada?
He gets a hat-trick as well.
I know, how good. Who takes the ball home? I've no idea. I don't know if I've seen that before. I'm sure it's happened. Maybe it's happened in my lifetime, I can't remember, but 2 hat-tricks. Who takes the ball home? I'm not sure. Who scores the first one, the second one? I don't know. But I think those front 3 were involved in 8 of the 9 goals as well. I think it was just the last one they weren't involved in. They were involved in everything. If you're a defender, normally you're playing against a number 9, maybe a 10. You've maybe got to watch a winger who's likely to score or comes into the box quite a lot. If you're defending against that Celtic team just now, you do not know what's going on round about you. You've not just got to worry about those front 3. You've got to worry about everything that's happening in midfield as well. How good was O'Reilly today?
Oh, he was absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant.
I thought Hatate as well. See Hatate's range of passing, the way he reads the game. He was just brilliant. For that first half especially, he was just floating about, absolutely untouchable. And the quality, this is the strongest Celtic team that I've seen for a long time. And I know you could maybe say there's a bit of recency bias in there because the Rodgers team was excellent, but the attacking verve that this team plays with, I don't remember watching a Celtic team play like that.
No. This is the best. I think Kenny used that phraseology earlier on. I loved it, by the way. Recency bias. I love that. Shout out to Kenny. I'm going to use that as often as I can this week. But there is a bit of recency bias because it's a here and a now, and you feel good, and you forget some of the good times you've enjoyed in the past because it becomes more historic. But it's just absolutely brilliant. And I genuinely, we said this last year. We said it throughout last year. Said it coming into the start of this year. I'm going to say it again. There's much more to come from this team. This is a team that there's new players being brought in, and they've been brought in not to sit in the bench, they've been brought in to start. I think the changes that we made today, we made 3 changes. I wouldn't be surprised if that's closer to the starting lineup. I think the big one's the defensive, whether Jens will start. But I think Hatate will come in and play. I think Abada will come in and play. So we've had that Celtic team, but you've now got Hatate coming in, you've got Abada coming in.
I thought, see, at centre half, I thought he would go back to Starfelt last weekend. Interesting that he did it this weekend. We've got Ross County during the week, but then the derby and Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I think he's going to go back to Carter Vickers and Starfelt as that partnership.
Do you think that's going to stay that way?
His first choice, yeah.
Quite possibly. I mean, their record was really, really good last year. I thought it was a bit rusty at times today. You couldn't see anybody underperforming in that team today. Yeah. But at times Fletcher was. Yeah. And Fletcher's good. You know, he's good at unsettling the defence, and I thought he was the one Dundee United player today that could potentially hold his head up. The rest of them were poor, but. I think that's a big decision. That's the one. I think Atati will get in ahead of Turnbull, and I think Abada, after his performance today, ahead of Maeda. 37 league games unbeaten. That's one game off a full season. It's remarkable consistency. You think about that after that game against Livingston, where the last time we got beaten in the league, we were standing outside thinking another defeat could come at any time. And here we are, more than a year later, 37 games later, the team just setting new standards every single week. I cannot picture that team getting beat. Do you know that right now? I can't visualise it. No. And we go into the game on Saturday, and you and I 18 months ago were saying, "Oh, it's a Rangers game," and you feared what the outcome was going to be. It's the polar opposite now. We're going to that game next week, and I know that it's a Rangers team who've achieved, you know, reasonable success, particularly in Europe. Domestically, I thought they were really inconsistent last year, and we did well against them other in the cup game. But I go in that game on Saturday and I can't visualise them beating us, and that's despite the fact that you go into these big games and there's the nervousness comes in and you think, oh no, you know, I might not get the result. That I just can't see us getting beat domestically. I can't. And Europe's a different proposition, but domestically I just think we are so far ahead of everybody else right now. Yeah, we're in such good shape to round up today. It's so difficult to pick a man in the match, and you could get to MD. Man of match for me today, you could pick 3 or 4 without a doubt. In fact, you could probably pick 5. But it has to be Kyogo. I mean, you've talked about in this discussion, Paul. I mean, he just set the tone for the game. His second goal, his reaction to the second goal, I just watched. I couldn't take my eyes off him. He himself was in shock, and that's one of the things I love about him. Is he's so humble. You know, it's not all about him. He's a really, really good team player. He works hard for the team, and we win possession, and then he'll create chances for other people. But today was a Kyogo show. He won the game in the first half for us. Yeah, and see, you talked about the pressing earlier at 0-0. He's all over defenders, closing them down, trying to win it back. But the thing I love about him, and this is why he's my favourite player and why I rate him so highly, he's got that something that you just can't describe, something special. That second goal kind of sums it up. Yeah. And we've mentioned comparisons with Larsson before, not in terms of level, because we know that Henrik Larsson will never be matched, but he's got that something special, that star quality, hasn't he? Yeah. Could you see him being here for as long as Larsson? Could you see him? I mean, it's hard to say. He's at the early stages of his Celtic career. Similar age though, 26, 27. Similar age, and I think you see him when we celebrate now. And I know it's become a bit. You almost, because he started doing it every single week, he almost has to do it. But I don't think it's like that. I think it's because he wants to do it. Yeah. He's at the start of celebrations with the fans. He's got a connection with the fans. He's the most. I mean, everything about him, personality-wise, unselfish player. He's got everything. He's got physicality, he's got desire, he's got hunger. I hope he stays here for 5+ years, and I've got a wee feeling he might, because sometimes, you know, these types of players, they don't look for that big move, and I think he's fallen in love with the club, and we've certainly fallen in love with him. Aye, absolutely. What a performance, what a team performance today. It finished Dundee United 0, Celtic 9 at Tannadice. We are back to the top of the table. Thanks for watching this video. Jump over for Twitter reactions, like and subscribe below, and thanks for watching.